What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Motor Grow channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This will actually be in a podcast episode as well. So getting into 2022, we're talking about battery equipment. As you can see, I have my share of battery equipment. Got some hanging up on the wall. You probably can't see it if you're listening to a podcast episode, but I'm just kind of showing the viewers there that do watch on the YouTube that I have my fair share of battery equipment, and I've ran gas probably for 3 years, and just getting this 4th year, just getting into battery equipment. And for those of you that might be wanting to make the switch this year, well, I want to talk to you guys briefly about 5 reasons why you should buy battery equipment and 5 reasons why you shouldn't. Got my notes here on my personal phone, recording on my business. Not that it matters, but I'm going to be looking at my phone because I do remember all the things that I write down, but it's good to have notes to kind of briefly talk about it. So let's get right into it. 5 reasons to buy battery operated equipment. Now, we're not talking about the cheap, homeowner, things that you can find for like $150, $200. We're talking about like guys that are actually running out there mowing lawns for a living, making money, or your weekend warrior that you got like 10 lawns on the weekends to do. We're talking about you guys that maybe want to mow at home. Well, this could relate to you, but not really, because we're kind of, again, more leaning towards the commercial side. So again, sorry for wasting time. 5 reasons why you should buy. All right. So first reason is you save money. Now, there's a whole backlog of reasons how you won't actually save money, but I want to talk to you guys about, I want to clarify these points. How would you save money by going to battery? Well, how about think about all the gallons of fuel that you'd buy over the season, and we're talking about fuel for your 2-stroke equipment. Now, 2-stroke does require you to buy 2-stroke oil, right? You got to mix it 50 to 1, 40 to 1, whatever your mix is. You got to buy the oil too, not just the gas. How about your gas cans? You got to buy those when you deal with gas motors, right? So you save money by not buying all those things. Well, how about tune-up kits every single year? Or if you tune your machines up, every 2-3 months, you got to buy tune-up kits for it. And how about the drive time? You're saving time by not having to drive to the gas stations, or if you do take your machines to the shop, you're saving money by not paying the shop to fix your equipment, and you're not wasting time driving there, right? So those are all things, areas where you could save money and time, I guess you could say. Almost no maintenance. So point number 2, reason number 2 is almost no maintenance. Now, when we talk about like trimmers, obviously there's maintenance. You got to change the edger blades, right? But we're talking about just the motor itself. There's hardly any maintenance. I mean, there's zero maintenance to do on these piece of equipment right here that I'm holding. How about your blowers? There's no maintenance on the electric battery equipment blowers other than charge your batteries, but that's not really maintenance, right? We're not fixing the things. When we're getting into like battery mowers, then yes, you have to, sharpen the blade, or if you got like a self-propelled, you got to change the cables once in a while. That's understandable. But basically almost zero or little bit to no maintenance on most of these battery powered equipment. And also, think about instant startup. This is included in the maintenance little reason. Instant startup on machines, right? You're not having to make sure that your machines are up and running every single morning. You show up to the property, instant go. And so again, really no maintenance, no having to repair it in the mornings. I know some of you are probably remembering those times when you show up to the properties and your machines won't run. You're like, man, yeah, my cat's here rubbing all over me. Reason number 3 is they're lightweight. Now, we're not talking about all the models. We're talking about some of them. And it depends on what you buy. Different brands have different weights. I know Husqvarna makes probably either Eco or Husqvarna makes probably the lightest battery powered trimmer. And they do have lightweight batteries. And also, again, it also varies on how many cells are in the battery and everything, because the batteries do tend to add on a lot of weight to the motor itself, causing the unit to be heavy. Okay, so, but some of them are light. Again, It depends on the battery, it depends on a few factors, it depends on, like hedge trimmers, for example. Hedge trimmers, battery operated hedge trimmers are pretty lightweight. And the blowers themselves too, pretty lightweight. So think about that. Reason number 4 is they're eco-friendly, okay? Now we're talking about, guys that are maybe mowing hospitals or areas where sound might be sensitive, right? Or you could use them in the morning. You don't have to worry about, starting up that blower and just full revving it and being super loud, loudest one in the block, especially if your muffler's coming undone. Then it's like straight piped. Actually, not straight piped, no muffler, man. It's super loud. I had a mower that had no muffler, man. It was so loud, it was so bad, and I eventually replaced it. But anyways, you could maybe use this for a way to gain new clients, right? Some clients are, again, they don't like the sound or the smell of gasoline when you're out on their property, which they should be inside anyways, but whatever. Some people are sensitive to the sound. Some people just don't like gas machines on their properties. And you don't have to worry about, if you ever have a fuel leak and that gas starts dripping on their grass, it starts killing the grass, and then they asking you why they're having, dead spots everywhere. Well, it's because you have a fuel leak, right? So with battery equipment, you don't have to worry about that. It is eco-friendly for the environment. And again, think about this. I think it's in California, I could be wrong, but they're starting to ban small engines, gas-powered small engines. And so maybe it's time for you to actually make the switch, right? You have to, in order to keep doing what you're doing, in order to keep cutting lawns and trimming lawns, you have to switch. It's kind of windy, man. Everything's falling, but you have to switch to battery equipment. So, and reason number 5, and again, these are my reasons. There's probably more, but let me know of your 5 reasons why you should buy, or why somebody should buy battery-powered equipment. But my 5th reason is storage. And again, this goes back to kind of maintenance. You don't have to sit there and drain the gas or run seafoam through it, or Stable, whatever you guys use. I don't recommend Stable, but anyways, you don't have to do that every single end of the year when you go to store your equipment. Plus, we're talking about storage during the job. Now, some of you might not want to take your trailer, your enclosed trailer, to go do a hedge trimming job. Now, you might say, well, how about I just throw it in the back of my truck? Well, why not even just take a truck? What if you just take a car, save on fuel, and put your trimmer or whatever you use inside your vehicle? Now, maybe you don't even have a truck, you use a car, and you want to take a trailer with you, maybe because you have gas-powered equipment and they smell. Well, now you don't have to use your trailer. You can just throw this in the back of your car, and you don't have to worry about the fumes building up inside of your vehicle, and you could actually breathe without having to inhale all of the gas, right? So with battery equipment, you could store it inside your vehicle, no issues, no smell, no nothing. So think about that when you... Oh, also one more thing, you could keep the units inside your house, right? Maybe in the wintertime you don't want them exposed. You don't want them in a storage facility. Who knows what might happen? You don't want them in a garage. So maybe you want to keep them inside of a open bedroom inside of your home. You can do that without having to worry about fuel leaking out or fumes of any kind. Having that exposed to your friends and family, or just in general inside your house. Again, think about those points. Those are the 5 reasons why you should buy or consider buying battery operated equipment. Now, 5 reasons why you shouldn't buy battery operated machines. Okay, let's begin with reason number 1 is they are expensive. Okay, gas operated machines, or gas machines, are cheaper than battery equipment. That's just, it is what it is. You go to any store, take a battery powered machine, that's a good one, not the cheap stuff, but a good machine like a KMA 135R, you'll notice that compared to a gas powered machine, it is more expensive. Okay, it is what it is. Plus you got to buy batteries, plus you got to buy chargers, right? Think about this. Maybe if you want to go all the way, switch all the way, well, you got to buy solar panels as well in order to keep your batteries charged, or you have to buy a inverter or a small generator or something, have it running in order to keep your batteries charged. Well, if you don't want any of that stuff, well, then you're just going to have to buy a bunch of batteries, right, to keep yourself to make sure you have enough juice for the whole day in order to cut all your lawns and trim and edge all of your properties and blow them with all of your battery equipment. Okay, so there's a big expense when you start up, when you make that switch over. You got to sell all of your gas powered. I still have, you know, some of my gas powered equipment. I'm not letting go of that yet, right? So but I have slowly gone over to battery equipment and will be selling off my remainder of gas powered machines. It's always good to have backups, so don't sell your complete line, but have a backup or two of maybe a gas powered, you know, if you don't want to fully convert yet. Reason number 2 is they're not as powerful, guys. And the thing is, you know, think about it. Gas powered will always be more powerful than battery operated. You take two comparable models, even like chainsaws. Think about chainsaws. You think battery powered chainsaws are powerful? Not yet, okay? But they're getting there, okay? They're slowly getting there, but they're not there yet. And so I've done many comparisons with a KM131R. Most of you know what that is. It's a steel combi attachment system. I've cut overgrown edges with it like it's nothing, and then I tried a KMA135R and it bogged. Okay, so it is what it is. Both comparable models to each other, and the gas just outperformed the battery. So again, they're not as powerful. Reason number 3 is they don't last forever, and that includes runtime. Now, the reason they don't last forever, again, how often do you change your power tool batteries? And why do you think they have like a 2 to 5 year warranty on the batteries? Well, the batteries don't last forever. They will run out of juice eventually and not start to lose their, start to not hold a charge. So cell phones do the same thing, right? Your cell phones run out of juice. Same thing with batteries, and same thing with electric motors, right? They don't last forever. So think about that. And same thing with gas. I mean, gas engines don't last forever, but I presume that maybe gas engines will last longer than a battery styled unit. So think about that. Again, as reason number 3 is they don't last forever. And again, just to clarify runtime, you know, the batteries maybe last you, 30 to 45 minutes each as far as a runtime. Let's just say for this one, for example, the KMA135R, running with their highest battery is the AP300S battery. We're going to be getting right around 45 minutes of runtime, okay? But there's so many variables, and I've talked about that before. Check out the video here maybe one of these corners on runtime for battery-powered machines. There's so many things you got to consider, and it's not just one answer, there's multiple answers, right? Reason number 4 is these guys are exposed to elements. If you're not carrying them in an enclosed trailer, in an open trailer, and it starts raining, you got to have like some protectors, some, what are they called? Like some kind of rain guards or whatever, I forgot, wraps, dry wraps, I believe. I've seen them on Instagram, but they're dry wraps. They cover your trimmers, and so it works well for gas. And of course, obviously works really well for electric motors as well in here, and for your batteries to keep them dry and away, exposed from the elements if you are running on open trailers like this and got them on mounts. Now for enclosed trailers, you don't need dry wraps, but think about this: when you when you are out trimming, sometimes it starts to rain, and so again, these units are exposed to the elements, and you just got to be very careful with them. I know they're kind of sealed, they're protected, but they are electric, right? They have components that can go bad and rust and all that. Okay, so be careful with that. Keep that in mind. All right, so the 5th reason why you shouldn't buy a battery-powered machine is because they are heavy. Now, I know you're saying, right, well, Phil, you just told us that reason number 3 and why you should buy is because they're lightweight. I understand that. It all depends on how and what kind of battery you add to this, and what you're using it for, and what model you get. Because you take 2 battery, even like, let's just say steel, they have so many types of battery trimmers. They have their residential models, they have their intermediate use, and they have their professional use battery equipment. Now, depending on what you buy and depending on the size of the battery that you get will all affect how lightweight or how heavy the units are. So if you get the best, commercial grade with the biggest battery, it's going to be heavy. Okay, and you could use a trimmer, for example, that is not commercial grade, like intermediate use, and you'll still end up doing the job. Like, let's just say you get an FS56. I'm only referencing steel because that's what I'm generally used to using. So let's just say a lot of you guys use them, FS56. It's a good trimmer to start out, straight shaft. And you can use that and not have to get the KMA 135R with the battery. It's just going to be way too heavy. The FS56 is going to be much more lightweight, and it'll both do the same type of quality job, but you're going to be more exhausted using the heavier piece of equipment because it is heavier because of the bigger battery that you installed in there, and the unit itself is quite heavy. So depending on what you buy, depending on what kind of grade you buy, and how big of a battery you add will all affect how much the unit weighs. And again, yes, sometimes they do get pretty heavy. And the thing is, like, some people are like, oh, get battery, it's much lighter. No, it's not. They're actually quite heavy. Go to your local dealer, try something, put a battery in there, and actually feel for yourself, compare it to a gas operated, and you'll soon realize that, yeah, actually some of the gas powered machines are actually lighter than the battery, surprisingly. Okay, this has been Phil with the Motor Grow channel. Check us out on the Phil's Lawn Care YouTube channel. Most of you know me from there. We do overgrown lawn mowing videos, different style of videos on there as well. But on this channel, we do like product reviews, podcasts, and all that. So appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check both channels out, and we will catch you on the next one.